So you stumbled upon our podcast.
Hope you got a letter.
Sup, I'm Lotta.
It's your boy Keys.
We're here to bring you a special edition of Cannabis Corner. This will be a video-only version. We're not dropping this on the airwaves like we normally do with Functional Pothead podcast. We just wanted to dive into something special. We finally had a reason to come back. So THC-O Acetate has been the new cannabinoid on the streets, the talk of the town, and we wanted to give you our take and a little bit of background on it and have you make that decision for yourself. Is it safe? Is it not safe? We'll get into it. Keith, let them know what we talking about.
So THC acetate, also known as THC-O, Delta X, ATHC, and a slew of many other names. Basically what it is a semi-synthetic derivative or analog of THC Delta 9, and also claims to be a analog of THC Delta 8, which we will get into a little bit later. The thing about this is, basically the process in which they say they make it the legal form of it on the market right now is they take a CBD, they expose the CBD to a certain type of acid. That acid then changes that CBD through the process of
acetylizing? No, that's not the word.
Oxidation.
Oh, there we go. Yep.
Oxidation.
So oxidizing it.
Oxidizing. So you're taking the CBD, oxidizing, making it a Delta 8. Then you take that Delta 8 and you expose it to acetate. And by way of adding this compound to the structure, you then make THC-O, which is supposed to, everyone's like, oh, it's 3 times stronger than THC. It's really crazy. From what I read, the onset is a lot slower. So usually when you smoke a joint, THC in the joint will get you high within minutes. You know what I mean? Because the process is fairly quick. THC-O takes a little bit longer because it takes the trip to the liver first, and then has to be dispersed from the liver. So it takes a little bit longer, 20 minutes after smoking it, and up to 2 hours after eating. So it's a very, very slow onset, and people are really, really worried about people possibly
overdosing.
We might see overdoses.
That's an overdose. People do that all the time.
When you eat a regular edible, you're like, this edible ain't shit. I mean, eat another one.
People green out all the time.
Yeah, imagine that edible being 3 times stronger. So, you know what I mean? There's a lot of
unknowns.
Yeah, unknowns with this, and it hasn't been tested. Smoking it, as we've heard and know from the vitamin E acetate situation, which made a lot of people sick, smoking it is also questionable. There's people on Reddit that have reported that they have like delayed onset of coughing and lung issues.
Okay.
So, but that also draws back to the fact that it is made with some very caustic chemicals. Like these chemicals are dangerous, possibly explosive, definitely flammable. They urging people, as people are starting to hear about it, they're urging people to not make this in their homes, not try to make this, because it's very, very dangerous.
They're comparing it to the conversion of like morphine to heroin, you know what I mean? Like that methamphetamine conversion. It's the same kind of chemistry that it takes to make THC-O acetate. Now, how many heroin labs have you seen go awry and mess up a house? You know what I'm saying? When they cooking.
As of late, how many fucking meth labs have you seen
gone
like explode and level like neighborhoods? Like, you know what I mean?
Yep, actually right up the street from my shop. the house blew out and it's still like a burnt down rubble mess, but they think someone was cooking in there because it was a hoarder spot. So yeah, it is not uncommon, especially in the actual, pandemic that we have, the opioid crisis that is happening right now. Like that totally exists and people are doing wild things to get drugs. So why I just don't understand, like, who decided that this was a good use of
crazy
their
fucking
time?
backstory.
Oh, talk to me.
This has been around. So THC-O has been around since 48 when it was first made.
1948?
Yes, 1948.
Okay.
So they actually tried to weaponize it for one of the wars. They wanted to weaponize this to subdue dogs, bro.
What? Oh, were we fighting the Russians
as a way to like give this to dogs, like I mean, in the war, and subdue the enemy dogs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's what the history of this shit's rooted in.
Okay, so war. I mean, that's pretty much just about every bit of innovation in the past that we've come up with has been to facilitate the destruction of other countries and cultures and the like. I'm sorry, this is just the reality. And for me, that is apparent with what they're doing to cannabis and what they've done in the legalization process. Because if you want to talk to the original people who used it for spiritual connection, you know what I mean? Like in the area that it's grown in the I would say the diaspora, as they came to like the Caribbean, as they came to America, not by choice, definitely in servitude, but that was what the intention of, helping. And somehow folks have decided that using something that is supposed to help a community, deriving the most ridiculous thing from it is the ideal choice. Like why do you need something 3 times as strong as what we currently have? Like, what are you chasing? Have you never taken a dab? Just a regular ass dab? And if that's the case, have you ever taken a tolerance break so that your like receptors can reset and not be so burnt out? It's just unreal that you would want to take something that is so risky to even create just to have it. And a lot of people are saying that it's as a result of the D8 ban and them trying to recoup their losses. But that's a
direct correlation. Yeah. Like so you need something to fill this void. I mean, you think about it in this way, right?
Yeah.
So you've legalized these certain groups of cannabinoids. Yeah. Now you have big facilities. I'm talking about like pumping like 20, 30 acres of just hemp. And the process of extracting this, I know you've seen the process of extracting like THC.
Yeah.
Imagine that shit scaled up 100 times. Mm-hmm. So when you are pouring off, you're not pouring off into a fucking Pyrex dish.
Yeah.
You're pouring off into a 50-gallon container, 100-gallon container.
Yeah.
I mean, so you're now a facility that has all this Delta 8 that you could possibly turn into another substance that is legal. I mean, so you put a couple more dollars into the hoods, the ventilation in your lab, and you're ready to rock. You're ready to make this.
Yeah, see, that's the shadiest part of the cannabis industry that no one ever talks about. Like, regardless of the legislations that exist, stoners are innovative. You've got to say that. Like, these are the craftiest motherfuckers. We survived criminalization of the very product that you are legalizing. We will go underground. We will navigate and find our route to keep doing what we're doing. It's always been here, you know what I mean, for centuries. But when it became an industry, it was like, how can we navigate the waters to get profit? Not navigate the waters to survive, not navigate the water, you know what I mean? It's all about like, if I've got moldy weed, but what can I do to make it look less moldy? Mm-hmm. If I've got to be pesticide free, let me do that pesticide free room, send that to the lab. If I've got to work with the lab that's gonna falsify my numbers, and this shit ain't made up, y'all. This is actual.
This is everyday shit.
This is everyday shit that happens in the weed industry, at least out here in Washington, and we got legislation.
I mean, by rule of thumb,
it's everywhere.
You have 2 different entities working together, and one has a little bit more financial, gains and the game than another, and there's a possibility for somebody to slip somebody an envelope. you already know. There's like, I could
Human
almost say
nature
this
is
shit with
corrupt.
like, with 100% certainty, besides the places that have state-run labs.
Yeah.
Every fucking industry that we have right now, there's somebody falsifying, there's a lab falsifying information.
Yeah, we have a state-run lab. We have a state-run lab on top of it, but there is so much corruption on every level within the cannabis industry. This is just another example of it, and it's at the extraction level, because you've got the legislators that are taking cuts. Hey, Florida, to get big corporations in, multi-state operators in. You've got Cali, the legislators there doing whatever they got, slipping aside in here. You know what I'm saying? You've got the whole vitamin E acetate situation. Like, that's a celebrities company that was doing stuff on the shady side. So you know what I mean? Like, you've got the explosions, right? Because of gas. There's so much unnecessary shit that when you just want to grow quality weed, you see news reports like this and you wonder, who got the time? Who got the time, dog? Well, like, let's answer some questions, because we ranting now, but I just wanted y'all to know that, because that is something that the common person does not know, and that the individuals within the weed industry do not talk about enough. So we talked about how we extracted it. It's on sale right now in California, or you can even find it in some online locations. Like, I just saw pricing for $30 for a 1 gram tanker, or like $35 in some change for a cart, which we just said you probably shouldn't be inhaling this.
Yeah, definitely not in the vape form. I would not. That's a very gray area, because they're basically taking a structure that's like relative to nature, like it comes from nature, and they're adding this acetate group onto the structure. I mean, so it's very similar and like structure wise to Delta 8, Delta 9, very, very similar. It's just you have this group, this acetate group, I mean, that's present.
So, yeah, but we don't, and you were saying the percentages in the testing, there's some unknown like products. So
they've tested a few companies, and they've tested some stuff that people have gotten off of Alibaba, and that people are buying it in like fucking bulk right now. But they've tested and they found like 10 to 15% of like unknowns, which can be a cutting agent, a number of things. I mean, residuals left in, which is very, very dangerous, because we like, the vitamin E acetate, where people were having lung issues and pneumonia and fluid in their lungs. That's a direct correlation to ingesting the vitamin E acetate. So, and this is all like the same family. So
yeah, and understand that this is not going to hit legal markets. Like, I mean, Cali, like, I was like, well, what about Cali? Cali ain't really legal. They quasi legal. They ain't got no shit together on any fucking level up in that place. So
everybody's fighting a different war in Cali right now. Everybody's fighting a different fight as far as the regulators and the people who are supposed to be like overseeing
this. So
like, everyone's fighting a different fight on a county level. So, and Cali is crazy right now. I wouldn't be surprised if it's already on the market in Cali, but because of its like shady, backstory and what it is on a molecular level, like it's kind of like, I don't see this hitting like markets like Washington or Massachusetts.
It won't make it through our labs. The labs, at the end of the day, they're gonna skirt through it, but someone in a lab is gonna snitch to like the LCB board a couple of times, because there is like a few good people. It won't make it for long, but you know where it's going to crush? It's gonna crush in the legacy market. It's going to fuck up.
This is also where it's going to crush, is the CBD market, because I don't think it'll be like sold by any companies per se. Like, I mean, companies that are doing THC Delta 9. This is more or less geared towards the companies that are growing hemp. This is like, I mean, kind of like a sneak around. Since you're losing Delta 8, like we have this that you can do. I mean,
and we're gonna sell it
so it's going to be these companies is going to, but I don't see it being around for long just because of the regulatory entities that govern over the hemp and CBD market.
Yeah. What I'm saying is that it's not this is not something that's going to be, oh, I picked this up in the store. Either way, if they're not going to be able to get it off through the workaround legal means, if that product sits, they're going to put it in them motherfucking containers, put it in packaging, and put that shit in the black market, legacy market. You know what I mean? And it's just going to be everywhere. And we're going to have the same situation as VapeGate that happened before when they were selling the vitamin E acetate. It's the same thing. It couldn't cut it in the labs. It didn't pass any of these testings. All right, cool. Backdoor that shit. And it's unfortunate that y'all choose to backdoor unsafe shit to the consumers, because you ruin our industry. You tell people, the people that said, look, see, those drugs are bad for you, you are proving them absolutely right. That may and will likely be bad for you. Lots of people, well, not lots of people, but enough people died that it was able to track it, you know, potentially. So it's just from complications to using it. And actually it was on top of it, the nicotine use. They couldn't decide which one. We talked about it in the past episode. So get into it. Well, I think then you need to talk about what pushed this market to happen, what pushed people want to walk down this road, which is the DA ban.
So the DEA kind of reached into like that bag. Yeah, I mean, they got into that bag. And something that they have that was put into place in the mid to late 80s was the analog ban. So they banned all analogs of Delta 9. I mean, which made
regular THC for everybody.
Regular THC. So, which makes everything that is analog
illegal.
Illegal.
Yeah.
The same thing that they did with LSD.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically that law. They pulled this Delta 8 into that law, and I don't see THC-O lasting for really long, because the thing that makes it so strong isn't like the fact that like it's like 60% of the flower or 60%. It's the bioavailability. So you consume this, it goes to your liver, and because of the structure that it has, more of it is available to be absorbed.
Yeah.
And then once it's absorbed, it's changed to Delta 9. So now you've taken in THC-O, it's gone to the liver, it's now been absorbed into the liver and changes into Delta 9. So now you have like a shit ton of Delta 9 in your system.
Word.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why you get really high, really
Which
fast.
gets converted anyway. Delta 9 gets converted in your body to, like, that's when you take like an edible, that THC gets converted to the one that your body does process, which is extra strong. And that's what fucks you up for some people, like why you can't maintain, because that can push you to you can see things, you know what I mean, as a result of that.
I read an interesting study, like this is like kind of veering off a little bit. Yeah, I read an interesting study the other day, and it was saying the reason why some people don't get high when they consume edibles is because your liver produces two enzymes. Some people have higher levels of one enzyme that don't interact with THC. Yeah, I mean, and then other people have like either like a balanced or a higher amount of the other enzyme that does interact with THC. So when you eat an edible, depending on how your liver works and the enzymes in your liver, you get really, really high. Like myself, I get fucked up every time I take edibles. And then there's people that like could take an edible, feel nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know several, you know, on either end of the spectrum. I'm right in the middle. I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? It makes me pretty happy. But that is a lovely study and a great explanation for future customers. But here's the shitty part about this DA ban. I mean, like, to bring it back to the topic we were chatting about. Washington had started selling, like the market had started selling D8 gummies and D8 vapes. Now, the reason why the LCB board started investigating this situation is that there was a company that sold Delta 8. It was supposed to be, was it supposed to be Delta 9 derived Delta 8, but it was actually hemp derived Delta 8, and that wasn't technically legal in Washington. So
Mhm.
that's when they started investigating it, and then realized they needed to get aligned with the federal view of the pending federal view of Delta
Oh,
8.
yeah.
But that was after they had conditionally approved the sale of Delta 8 products in Washington. So people spend money on marketing. They made up gummies, like Smokies is one of the companies, and they had a ton of stock and product and inventory, and it's delicious. They make the best gummies. Those Delta 8 one-to-ones get you high as hell, dude.
It's sad because it's the story of one bad apple.
Exactly, fucking it up for everybody
Yeah, I
because
mean,
they
so
sold it.
yeah,
To
you're doing
vapes.
something illegal, and I'm
Yeah,
doing something legal.
legal.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
and you
and it
messed it
was
up.
and that would be on separate sides
Yeah.
of Delta 8.
Yep.
So there's companies within the I-502 that can produce, you know what I mean, THC Delta 9 derived Delta 8. And then there's guys that just grow hemp.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And their Delta 8 is CBD derived.
Yep.
And these guys on the I-502 side, not on the, I mean, I could sell my hemp products at any store that will sell my hemp products.
Yeah.
Not these guys, but the guys in I-502 do some like backhanded, you know what I mean, bullshit, and it affects the opposite side. Like that's really kind of ass backwards. Like if you think about it.
It's terrible because Delta 8, when consumed for the right person who can't necessarily handle Delta 9, is great for anxiety relief. If you vape it, quick onset if you're having an anxiety attack, you know what I mean? There are people that couldn't get out of the fetal position because of an anxiety attack. You hit the Delta 8 pen twice and they were able to sit up, you know what I'm saying? So it's just absolutely frustrating that they had to source it from someone on the other side, the hemp-derived CBD side, those extractors. According to the story, they sold it to them unknowingly, and they didn't just sell it to one I-502 like vape pen cartridge producer, distillate producer. They sold it to like 3 or 4 of the major names, which now affects like branding. They had to go and clear out their stock, get back in business. Doug. And I have to answer questions every day. When are you getting the Smokies Delta 8 one-to-ones back in stock? Never.
What about Mobius? Was Mobius one of the companies?
No, as far as I know, Mobius was not one of the companies because we are still able to sell their Delta 8 tinctures. But I think Paris, they had a one-to-one vape, buddies, 2 heads. I'm not quite sure. It's like if you can. I have to scroll back in my inventory. There was a UBI number, which is how you track all this bullshit for the people out there. You need to figure out the license of the company you're dealing with and then figure out the claims that have been attached to those UBI numbers. Because every time the LCB board has to like sign a license, you know what I mean? Like give them a ticket, a warning, they have to shut down, they have to recall their products. It's all linked under their UBI number, and that is public information. And that's how you find out, should you be actually messing with a company? That and
the more you fucking know.
Yeah, dog. Listen, I be asking questions, and it wasn't. So there's a UBI number and a company name, and they sold products to several I-502 companies unknowingly. They told them it was regular. It was Delta 9 derived Delta 8. And that is not what it was. And so they had to deal with that situation. And that you got to think about how much money that costs. I'd be pissed, dog. Yeah, we gonna have to throw hands.
That's a big hit.
I'm gonna have to throw hands with you, player. So I mean, did we hit it all for him? I don't know. Is there anything?
I feel like we hit it all. I think we got it. I mean, the legality of Delta 8
and the drama,
the gray area, the drama that's surrounding it right now.
Yeah, there's too much, and the consumers just want their medicine, and I wish we could just give them that.
One thing I will do, I'll send you the link to put on this for this episode. I read an interesting interview with Dr. Russo, which anybody like who is like on the scientific side of cannabis knows his name. He has been studying the plant for 25 years, and he has some very interesting things to say about THC-O, and way more, like, I mean, broken down, I mean, than I could ever break it down. I mean,
we're not scientists. We just like weed. Understand that? Functional potheads. So we just wanted to talk to you about the weird shit that we learned about some weed while we was high. Facts. Take it with the scope of being high as fuck. But Dr. Russo, we're gonna drop you the link. The research is needed. I think if you're going to continue to trust in the legal market for your cannabis and not grow it yourself so you know what's in it, you need to then invest in the knowledge and research behind who the fuck you buying from. So
and what you're buying.
And what you're buying, because with unknowingly someone can affect your health what they're selling. Right? And on that note, it's dope that y'all took the time to have a J and a blunt with us. Go copy some Fronto at frontowave.com.
Frontowave. Actually, the website is under construction because I got some other shit brewing.
You gotta build it.
Kind of like bolster that. So I'm gonna be switching the website over soon. But you could always hit the Instagram, Frontowave, at Frontowave.
All right.
Holla at your boy.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Mr. Beans, for coming back into the kitchen over here and talking to us.
Oh, you know
we cook you some heat every now and then. If you want to hear
we'll
more,
be back. We'll definitely be back. I've through the rabbit hole of THC-O, I found a couple other things that we could definitely
chop it up on. Yeah, for sure. We might give you the full 8. You don't know. I don't know. But we might give you a full 8.
It's in the air right now. It's in the air.
Let us know in the comments section. Slide into the Discord. We hang out, talk about stuff like this on a regular. So if you want to hear more from us without forcing us to come and talk to you on camera, I'm just playing. Without having us come talk to you on camera, get in the Discord chat. We cooking there too. All right. Peace.
Peace.